Question number 6 on Schoology. We are actually going to focus on this question down here at the bottom, and then you're going to work the ones above it on your own, and it's going to be very similar. So I picked this one because there's a couple different ways that you can pull out a greatest common factor for a 20 and a 16. One way is if you're not really good or feel confident with your multiplication facts, or sometimes you just overlook it, you can always start small. And if they're even, all even numbers can be divided by 2. So if you divide by 2, you would get a 10 and an 8. And if you look back at 10 and 8, they also have something else in common. They're both even again. All even numbers can be divided by 2. And so you end up with a 5 and a 4. Can you divide 5 and 4 by something else and get an even answer? No. It won't come out nice if you do. So here we're done. If you divide by 2 and then 2 again, that's the same as dividing 1 time by 4. And you just take those two numbers that you divided by and multiply them together. 2 times 2 is going to give you that 4. So it's faster if we just divide all the way down by 4. So the greatest common factor is to divide by 4. Then we're going to focus on our variables, our x. We have x to the power of 3. Remember, cloning power of 3, that means 1, 2, 3. X to the power of 2 means 1, 2. X times x. Now, do those have anything in common? Yes, they do. And before I go on, I'm going to need to write this where I have my parentheses and then my leftovers. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what they have in common. They both have x's. How many x's do they have? They each have an x, so I can pull an x out. And they each have another x, so I can pull another x out. A better way to write x times x would be x squared. And then I'm going to get rid of those. And so the best way to write my answer is that I pull out 4x squared. And then I have 5x. And then I have, this was a positive 4 with no letters inside that last piece. So we have 4x squared that we're going to need to pop into our box. 5x right here that we would pop in. And then we would pop in a 4. Now, something that we didn't talk about before was how you can check yourself. And I'm going to go back here and look at this one that we did to begin with. Our answer was 3x minus 4. So once you get your answer, you can always multiply it back to see if you get your beginning question. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times a negative 4 would be a negative 12. You could do the same thing with these down here. You can multiply it back, distribute it, to see if you get your original question to make sure that you did it right. You're going to finish the